Ahoy, and welcome. This is Admiral. Today we're going to briefly cover a few objects that could spice up the game using a similar mechanic to the one I've used for working roads, and along a similar line of thinking, of considering uses for things that currently only function as eye candy. The obvious disclaimer is that these would be pretty disruptive to standard play, so for now I'm proposing them exclusively as new or improved scenario editor or custom map objects, and currently they are only available in the editor. Although feel free to voice your thoughts if you'd be interested in having them for standard games or as bonuses for future civilizations. As with roads, there are more than a few scenario editor objects that entice one to consider how they might be made useful beyond their current purely cosmetic role. An obvious example from the Mountain Royals DLC is the Swan Tower, which, despite its imposing appearance, fails to fulfill any of the essential functions of a tower, being unable to garrison units or attack enemies, or interact in any way, denying even the satisfaction of a destruction animation. So the solution for that is obvious, although it would require the developers to invest in new graphics, for which I will continue to ask, but without holding my breath. We'll start off by looking at Aqueducts, editor buildings with impressive graphics, including a unique icon and destruction animation, but serving no purpose beyond the reskinned walls that they are beneath the facade. In my mod here, they now serve to irrigate nearby farms, improving farming efficiency within their range. At present, I have this implemented as a flat work rate increase, although in the future I may look into having them work like the Manaspa, with a variable efficiency boost based on the number of nearby aqueduct segments, although capped at a certain value. In addition to being usable in custom scenarios and campaigns, these could also appear in map scripts based around the post-Roman period of a region, with ancient aqueducts among the ruins providing value to the player who controls them. Next up, and with a similar role, is the Well, which also increases the efficiency of farms, although to a smaller extent and within a lesser range. It also provides a small degree of healing to any living unit within its range, although not to the level that would allow it to compete with monks or other dedicated healers. This could also feature in variously themed map scripts, although I particularly like the idea of them appearing in otherwise inhospitable desert maps. And of course, there are other possible Gaia variants of this concept, like oases or healing springs, that provide a mild healing and farming boost to nearby units. And lastly, we have statues and mini-monuments, which could confer various military or economic benefits. Monuments and trade workshops already exist in some maps and game modes, although I'd want more varied attributes for them than the useful but one-dimensional resource generation mechanic. I've given this Indian regional statue the very simple ability of increasing attack rate by 10% for all elephant units, as well as all unique units belonging to the 4 existing Indian civilizations. I went a little harder on this large Buddha statue, making it improve the work rate of all buildings within its range by 20%, with monasteries and universities benefiting further, and with nearby towers gaining improvements to their attack rate and projectile speed. And finally, while it has no passive healing effect, it does increase the healing rate of any monk units within its range. Keep in mind that many more features are likely within the engine's capabilities, but not currently supported, even with modding. For example, many of you will have thought of additional effects for aqueducts or wells, such as increasing the total food amount on the farm, or of statues or monuments providing a boost to armor or hit points. However, these and many other possible bonuses are not currently supported as proximity effects. So while I think such future possibilities are intriguing, I'm of the mind to start out by getting the most use out of things that are already possible, and barring red tape, could be implemented officially within a week if someone on the AoE 2 dev team decided to make it happen. But again, failing that, we can mod them in, and I'll be adding some of these objects to my Road Builder mod over the next few days as I revisit it. And there's a possibility of these or similar ideas being added to the Civ Builder if the Citizen's Champion of conveniently customizable civs takes an interest in them.
Release the Kraken!
As always, I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts, and there's some obvious follow-ups to new terrain or object ideas, such as fertile terrain, water effects such as currents or trade winds, and various other types of buildings that I hope to revisit before too long. For now, though, I need to confront my severe case of shiny object syndrome and record some of the scripts for other topics that have been gathering dust for weeks or months. So that's all for today, till next time.
Mandatum. Liking. Mandatum. Subscribing.